Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12 of season 2 of Red Wings Rant. We have some things to celebrate, and guess what? We don't have an ad, so Mike, woo! You're coming right in!
Woo! Like being ad-free, baby!
Yeah! We are talking, of course, first series with the Detroit Red Wings. We'll get you prepped for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but let's see if Matt can keep talking and move his Google Chrome tabs to one side of the screen and his notes to the other. He did it. All right, cool. Mike,
that's me.
You were spitting fire.
Matt, that's you.
Before we started recording. Yeah. It was quite a bit of fire.
I was hot. I felt like Mickey Redman in the booth.
Yeah, you were pretty angry at some of the things that Blashill was saying to try and, like, I don't know, put out some fires, or he was like, no, seriously, guys, game 1 was close. Look, it's fine. I get it. We can all say it was close. And then I've heard on some of our rival podcasts where they look for some analytics, which is, Mike, that is not how science works. You do the experiment and say what the results are. You don't hear what somebody says and go, which analytic can make this make sense?
Let me find a stat to support me.
Honestly, it happens all the time. We've had Prashant Dyer and Jay Fresh Hockey on, and I am kicking myself still because I didn't get to ask either one of them about that. But I will say one of them, and it was their show, is the one that did the thing I don't like. Where,
all right, well, I think kind of watching the two games, Matt, I'm going to say two things. One, I should never go to Vegas because I totally picked the 2 game scores wrong, so I just lost money twice. But I was right on the podcast, so I would bring that to the collection room to try and get some money back. That I think it's going to be a 50-50 split, and these Red Wings are probably going to win maybe like 40% of their games, maybe 45 if they can split. I don't think they're going to continue to win half, but
well, that's the interesting thing is like analytically we still were outshot, outpossessed. I mean, it looks like we still could have lost this game to Carolina, and we win 4-2. So what I'm worried about is if it, like you said, and we talked about it last week. It's the game-to-game adjustments that are going to be key for the Red Wings this season to find some success. And it looks like we made some huge adjustments, but is every first game going to be a complete blowout?
I don't know if that's like, we just practice in the first one and kind of, okay. Can we break down game 1 real quick and then get to the fun game in game 2? All right, Blashill, I told you. He won me over when he rolled his eyes at, I think it was an Art Regner question. It was a beautiful moment. He gave that stupid-ass question exactly the answer it deserved. All right. With that said, that was not a close game in game 1. That was a 100% slaughter by Carolina. It was fascinating how awful our offense was. It was literally, we had one play that we ran for 60 minutes where we would, if Larkin wasn't on the ice, we waited 3 line changes for him to get back on. And we would just have him start from behind our blue line, skate it up across center ice, try to dump it. Somebody gets in his way. Carolina immediately brings it back into our zone. And we didn't just do it once or twice or 3 times. We did it every single play for 3 periods. And it didn't work a single time. And Mickey Redman was like, well, I guess we're going to try this again. And it's 1-0, 2-0. And Larkin did it again. He's like, well, play hasn't worked yet. Here comes Dylan again. Well, there's a turnover, and it goes back to our zone. So I felt bad for Mickey having to call that game because it was just like you wanted to pull your hair out. You could, like, Carolina looked like all their guys were 6'6", all muscle. They just controlled the play the entire time. We couldn't do anything. But Matt, I don't know if you want to linger on game 1 because we did have game 2 and we turned it around.
I tweeted out the shot chart from game one. I wonder if Matt's gonna have the ability to pull this up. But I made the joke looking at it where I was like, this looks like I just sneezed on my phone. Like it was disgusting. It's
there's the high danger scoring chances, right? There's that statistic, and
right.
Game one was so rough that I question the compilation of the high danger scoring chance, because it felt like we had exactly 0 of those. It felt like it was just an onslaught. We didn't bring anything to the table. That was like a defensive clinic when you have the game on rookie, and Carolina was just abusing poor Detroit, who was just so undermanned.
Well, I don't know. Oh, good. My mouse is working. So for anybody listening to the podcast, you're not going to be able to see this, but if you're watching on YouTube, it's this area where we're like, okay, we got some high danger scoring chances. Cool. But if you pull up the heat map, Mike, and we have that saved as well, that's where you just see big, wide open white space on the Red Wings page. And again, like I said, this looks like I sneezed on my phone. When I'm looking at my phone at this page of these little blue dots, like it's pathetic when you look at the Carolina Hurricanes page for this game, for the game one, and it's just a smattering of, I mean, it looks like maybe I sneezed twice or 3 times on the Carolina Hurricanes page, but everything about this was stomach.
I would say it looks like somebody punched you in the nose and drew blood, and there's just red Carolina blood all over our side of the ice, because it was bad.
Well, maybe I can. Here's. I know we had the heat map too, but you can see it. It's pretty small on the screen here, but it's there. But there's that heat map. Like you can just see the Hurricanes had everything between the circles covered. Like it's just a big glop of chances and shots on net, and the Red Wings, for the most part, are held to the outside. You see how those shots on the outside of the, I mean, sure, we did get up front, but you're not, then you're hoping for a rebound. You're hoping to turn it into a high danger scoring chance, instead of what the Hurricanes did was just pepper from the middle, like right between the circles. So again, it's fine. It's fine if we're going to say like, sure, the scoring chances were close to even, still in Carolina Hurricanes' favor through 2 periods in game one. But I mean, then the third period, I think it was 90% to 10% Hurricanes for the Wings. Yeah. And that's probably where this heat map really got ugly. But let's stop talking game one, Mike.
Yeah, let's talk about, because Carolina mentioned it. They were without Jordan Staal, just COVID precautions. But that is not the reason that the game changed. It totally looked like I can't remember. I don't think it was Svechnikov, but it was one of their top guys said looked like Detroit did their homework and made some adjustments. It sure as fuck did. It felt like there was some real desperation. I thought Zadina was a superhero in that game.
Absolutely.
I know he got some grief about people saying, look at him trying to do a Datsuk impression in game one. Well, game two, he was stealing pucks like Datsuk. That's how our team's probably gonna have to score goals, is those kind of plays against the the boards. It's such an effective way to play. In that game one, we just kept letting Carolina, as soon as we would do that awkward Larkin in a straight line, just crash into 5 Hurricanes, and then they would just bring it forward in a Mighty Ducks flying V formation. So for us to actually get it in their zone, or if they thought that Hurricanes were controlling it, Zadina was just doing a beautiful job putting pressure on him. And that smile he had when he got to hit Bobby Ryan, and Bobby Ryan's like a legitimate adult goal scorer. Oh my God, that had to feel like such relief. Big smiles to get off that schneid of no goals. So exciting there for Bob. And Matt, does he, as far as adjustments from 1 to 2, do we put Bobby on that, my God, if he goes down, we're screwed list with Larkin and Mantha? It's too soon to say that?
I mean, after that goal, it seemed like a switch was flipped. Like we still got dominated again in the first period, and I think we were all kind of hanging our heads. So we go down 3-0. First period in that game was still pretty heavy Carolina, but after Bobby scored, I think just to talk about the Red Wings on a whole, it really did seem to lift the whole team up to like a whole new level of play. The analytics still point to this was in Carolina's favor, and we pulled out a victory 4-2. So again, there's a conversation about the goaltending and how we can eliminate some of those high danger scoring chances and how we find a win. But if we're going to be able to like see a guy that's going to be passing and shooting the way like Bobby Ryan was playing yesterday, it really did just, I mean, if we want to play the eyeball test, let's forget the analytics. It really did like push this team to a whole nother level. I mean, you heard Mickey talking about it too, where it was just the momentum was all on the Red Wings side after that goal, at least for the rest of the second period. That was their period. The third period kind of had its ebbs and flows. But it was, Mike, it was nice to see. Like all last season, we saw the third period blow-ups. Like that's kind of what I was like holding my breath on, was I didn't want to see, especially with them scoring 1 minute into the third period. I didn't want to see another third period stinker.
Yeah, it would be like as soon as the other team got a goal or tied it up, we just totally deflate. And it kind of felt like we would get re-energized, at least in this game. Like, yeah, let's get another one. Let's get them back, boys. Yeah. It looks so out there.
You know that Svechnikov is the master of the Michigan goal. So I of course, had to have fun when Larkin scored his goal. And I said, well, there's the Detroit Red Wings and Dylan Larkin's version of the Michigan goal.
Yeah.
Of course, anybody listening at home, that the Michigan goal is that one where Svechnikov behind the net just picks up the puck and throws it behind the, right over the goalie's shoulder. And Larkin, this is all about scrappiness. This is about nose to the grind kind of play. Like it's, throw all the cliches in there because that's how it happened, right? Like he's gunning to the net, throws the puck out in front, and it just so happens to go in. And you talk about Mickey Redmond called Svechnikov's goal, right? He called it a goal scorer's goal. That Dylan Larkin goal is a captain's goal. I want to say that. I know we didn't put a title on it last night. Mickey didn't put a title on it, but that, Mike, oh my God, you want to talk about guys making a difference? I thought Dylan Larkin, he struggled in game one. He definitely was at fault on that first goal in game one. And game two felt like he went, I'm the captain. I'm the captain now. It was that gift. Dylan, like, no, this is my team. And he really took over that third. But I want to still like bring that back to your point of Bobby Ryan and making the huge difference, because you take out Franz Nielsen, and we all had our jokes.
I don't know how to take out an assistant captain, but I guess we do it now.
I mean, the upgrade, I think, was easy to see, like between Franz Nielsen and Bobby Ryan, and the analytics are there too to say the high danger chances. Bobby Ryan led the team, and from an expected goals perspective, he was also in the positive. So at least him being out there meant there was a better chance for the Red Wings to score than it was for the Carolina Hurricanes to score. And we didn't, he's on $1 million contract. This is, Mike, right now, after one game of Bobby Ryan, this could be the exact opposite of Franz Nielsen. Like, not overpaid. He looks reliable. I mean, the post-game stuff, oh my God. He's so much fun to listen to. He sounds excited. He sounds like a new man. He's a new human. But everything about the Bobby Ryan story is always like, it's always inspiring. But for that team, and to finally come back to your question, if things are going to continue, I don't want to make like a huge statement right now. But after watching that game and seeing how he turned that team on, like, and pushed them to another level.
Yeah,
I think you could be right in the sense like there's always a guy every season that kind of looks like when they're not on, the rest of the team isn't on. Yeah. And it was 2 years ago we were making jokes about the Mike Green magic, that whenever he was like injured the whole season, so not last season but two seasons ago, then you would insert Mike Green into the lineup. He would have a terrible game, but we would win. Now Bobby Ryan did not have a terrible game. But I'm wondering if it's just going to be this magic that because of his high skill level, because of the attitude he's bringing to the ice, this is like that's that difference, and we saw it. You can't. The eyeball test is where we're doing this, so it is objective. But we definitely saw a completely different Red Wings team after that Bobby Ryan goal.
It's kind of scary. I think Ken Daniels mentioned it towards the end of the 3-0 defeat. He's like, the Red Wings definitely have a little bit more depth this year, but they're still missing that big firepower to get goals in the net. And I don't know if we have that depth. I mean, we went down one of our top 6 guys, and we got slaughtered 3-0. So I think if we saw Bobby in there, we saw the first line and the second line at full strength. Zadina having Fabry and Bobby to throw the puck to, worlds of difference. It felt like 2 legitimate scoring lines, but God forbid either of those 2 lines loses anybody for one game. It suddenly becomes a one-line team. But with that said, I did just want to throw some props out to our boy Luke Glendening, who got the opening faceoff for Game 2, because his line was the only one that put any pressure on Carolina in Game 1. So, just winning faceoffs. I think he had the best faceoff game in number 2 for our Red Wings, but. His defense. I didn't want to go without mentioning him, because he's not going to be one of our stars. I still think the star should be Zadina, Bobby Ryan. Fuck it, I'm going to put Luke at number 3. Why not? And but yeah, just controlling the play, being scrappy, like you said, fighting for pucks. That's how you win. And hopefully we get more Game 2s and less Game 1s, man.
Well, I'll throw out there too. I wanted to touch on Dylan Larkin turning into the captain.
Oh, we got a hello from DW3X. How are you, little frog puppet man?
He's all right. I like frog puppet man. DW3X. 2021 is Detroit's year, baby. I hope that you mean too, not just the Red Wings. We're gonna run. Pistons are turning it on. The Tigers, maybe if they play a season this year, they'll be good. And hopefully the Lions sign a coach that, even though he looks like PC principal. I
can't believe we're getting a former tight end as our coach. But anyway,
yay!
There weren't any kickers available? I don't know.
You want to get Pat McAfee in here?
Oh, please. I want him to moonsault onto Stafford in the first practice. That would be great.
Well, back to the Red Wings conversation. We do. I had a couple of points I wanted to touch on besides Larkin getting
those points, baby. Touch them.
So he does get the empty net goal as well. So we get the 4-2 victory. He gets some space.
By the way, did Mickey not sound so effing relieved? I think he was cheering Dylan on as he crossed center ice. He's like, "Come on, Dylan, baby. Come on, Dylan, baby." And then Dylan just kind of saucered it towards the net, and he's like, "Yeah." Nothing like the hometown commentary,
He has been such a joy. This is why, think about all the different announcers that Detroit sports have had that you and I have had the pleasure of, displeasure of listening to. There's a reason Mickey stuck around. He knows what he is, and he's always done it well. We're not asking him to come in with the hard analytics. We're asking him to be a Red Wings fan. And I tweeted
he's our proxy.
Yeah, I tweeted out.
He's the stand-in for the fan. Obviously, he's got more of an education than us, but hockey education. But his the emotions that he carries. He's a perfect there's no better way to put it. He's our vocal proxy.
Yeah, it was in the first period where I tweeted, we need to get some brown liquor into the broadcast booth so we can really hear what Mickey's thinking, because it was on. It was about midway through the first, and his analysis is just, it's your dad, right? It's your dad watching the game who's frustrated with what's going on. Sometimes he picks the best player on the team to get mad at. But I'm not saying Mickey did that, but Mickey was that representative of your dad, because it wasn't thorough analysis, it wasn't deep, but it was him just going, "You're not gonna win playing like this," and I was like, Jesus, This is.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go cut the lawn. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll go shovel, Dad. I'm sorry.
I worry about him grabbing Ken Daniels by the collar when he said that. He's just, no.
There's nobody else within arm's reach. He's.
Oh, that's right. He's not within arm's reach anymore. He's tearing down the plastic wall. Oh my God. But
can I just say too, like it feels like a lot of the commentators don't get a lot of leash to be critical. But I don't know how Mickey is able. Maybe it's just his old age and that contract he's got. But I'm so glad he has that leash to be critical of players and plays.
It's like that common the knowledge of old people could become, not serial criminals, but they could steal a can of beans every now and then at the grocery store and get away with it. Like it's kind of adorable. So you let Mickey Redmond be Mickey Redmond. Let him forget that there's another hockey team on the ice.
Yeah, I do like your idea for the little brown bottle up in the booth. Just because we got just a taste, just a little tip of when he started to tear into Mark Stahl on that goal.
Oh my God!
For the Svechnikov goal.
Uh-huh.
How he had the turnover and he let his man get away to get wide open for the shot. Oh, man.
I know I hadn't gotten my point out yet about Dylan Larkin, so I'm just gonna. I do like that Mark Stahl shit. Let's talk about it. If you guys haven't seen it, I might be able to pull up a replay real quick here, but it just baffles me what his idea was if he had won the battle against Svechnikov. Let's say he won that battle and got the puck up the ice to who he wanted to get it to. He stood there, Mike, for about a second and a half without making a move. So think about that. If he had gotten the puck up the ice to where he wanted, what was the next? He's just going to hang out with Bernier out behind the net? Is he taking a breather? Is that what we're all about with Mark Stahl? Because I know, look, maybe he's got to read the play and figure it out. Maybe that's possible. But just watch that replay again where Mark Stahl tries to throw it up the boards or he loses the battle with Svechnikov.
Yeah.
What? Sure. Like, there could be a moment of where he's got to figure things out again. He's got to get, his brain wrapped around what's going on. But if he got the puck up the ice, why isn't he moving forward? Which also begs, how does Svechnikov get in front of the net without anybody contesting him? Like that's where the problem starts. Like, it's not just that Stahl got beat. There wasn't that thought in his head where you go, this guy's got so many years of experience. This should be the trigger to fire off when he gets beat is like, go to the front of the net, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. So that's where I'm like, okay, let's pretend like he didn't think he got beat. Maybe he thought the puck was moving up the ice. He's still standing there behind the freaking net. He's still not moving. I don't understand what the hell.
He's waiting for that pass so we can set up the play from behind the net.
We already, Mike, it appears we've already selected our dog for the year because Nielsen's already a healthy scratch, so we can't dog him anymore.
Yeah, just to clarify too. I mean, it was in Stahl's defense. It is Svechnikov, so it's not like it was some bottom tier fourth liner where this happened. But I think it maybe sooner rather than later. We'd like to kind of see, give Dennis Chalowski, some ice time, and maybe not let him kind of learn an experience, get some, ice time against the Svechnikovs, because we kind of see with all that wisdom what we're going to get with Mark Stahl this year.
Yeah. It was something too, like when we first picked him up, it was, I mentioned this last week, but the Broadway boys, our New York Rangers brothers on the Hockey Podcast Network were just like, hey, good thing you got a draft pick here because this is going to hurt you.
Yeah. I mean, we can't. Yeah. We'll just start building the case to have some other young player take his spot because I think this was Exhibit 1.
And I here we go. I did find it.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this up here. So again, this is for everybody. This is why you got to follow us on YouTube, everybody. Just here's the problem with this. The replay isn't perfect here. So you can see how he is like, look at how his feet are flat on this. So we got to wait for it to reset because this is a GIF. But he gets beat by Svechnikov and his feet are flat. And Svechnikov is already moving to the front of the net. And then he goes, oh, shit. Again, like, that's where the question comes in. If he got the puck to where he wanted it to go, why would he be hanging out behind the net after? There's no reason for it. There's nothing good was going to come from that. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. That little clip, it skips the turnover too behind it in our zone. So
right. I mean, it's just ugliness.
You only saw one of the two poo-poos. There's actually two piles of poo-poo on that
play. So let me go back to Dylan Larkin and him being captain now. His first couple of games, his first weekend, his first series. We're going to call him series this year, folks. Gets that empty net goal. Mike, what I loved was when it was 4-2. He could have gotten a hat trick in game number 2, Mike, and Red Wings fans would have rejoiced. It would have been, yeah, our captain did it. He got a hat trick. And, and think about his stats for the year. Like, he's got to be thinking about that. He wants to look good. Like, right? Those elite players want to see themselves on the leaderboard. But he fed one over to Nemestikov, who had 2 different breakaways and is looking like the brand new Darren Helm of the Detroit Red Wings. Just complete dumpster fires of attempts on the breakaway. Really, I shouldn't even call it a dumpster fire. It was just him kind of skating up to the goalie and pressing it up against his pads. So Larkin sees Nemestikov open in front of the net. Nemestikov still doesn't score, but that's where I'm saying captain. And then the third point, so you've got the goals, you've got the tenacious play. My captain point number 3, Larkin is 9 of 14 in the faceoff circle. 9 of 14, according to Natural Stat Trick. So if that is incorrect, I know they do miss some shots on net and stuff like that. So, but according to Natural Stat Trick, 9 of 14 in the faceoff dot. Compared to like Fabry was 2 of 14 in game number 1. And you mentioned Glendening before. He is the leader in faceoffs on the team. I think we all know that. But Larkin, for at least this day, was around 63, 68%. So he took the day after losing 3-0. He stepped it up, and again, close to 70% on those faceoffs. I mean, that's our captain. I just wanted to throw that point out there because, as we all know, probably the more important thing besides having a captain that's playing like one, Mike, was our goaltending for these 2 games. Because even though, look, it's fine if you want to say the scoring chances look like they were close in game number 1. Sure. And of course, that heat map that we showed, all the Red Wings scoring chances came from the side of the net. So cool. Yeah, I guess we did do great on scoring chances. Anyways, Mike Grice, 952 in game 1, 952 save percentage. Bernier, 935. I joked with Ryan Lambert, and I said of Puck Soup when he was on the show a couple weeks ago. I said, if the Red Wings are going to be good, what's that save percentage have to be? And he took it seriously. I thought he was going to say, 99, but he took it seriously, and he said 940. So we are right there in that range. And Mike, we do have a playoff spot right now. So if COVID takes out the rest of the season, the Red Wings are making it to the playoffs. That's right. We're a top 4 team in the Central Division presented by Discover. So to finish this point, I did see posted this morning. Goal save versus the expectation of what one might I don't know, come out with for the season. I don't know how to say it. Goal saves versus expected. So this is a measurement of who is basically these goalies that are going above and beyond. So there's how many goals you should be saving, and then how far beyond are you going past that point. So when you talk about goalie analytics, I think we've said before, it's pretty tough to track. It's hard to see like which goalie is performing the best, because you could look at like those high danger chances that they're saving, and that's one way. This is another attempt to figure out who the best goalies are. Mike, if you can see it, you'll see at the top of this graph there's a blank space. That's actually the representative Thomas Greiss there. So, Mike, in the top 6 players of goals saved versus expected. So again, the guys on the top of this list mean they're going above and beyond what the expectation would be from an analytical perspective on a save percentage and shots saved. So you have the expected, what it would be, and how far past they're going past this. So the guys on the top are doing very well. I don't know how many different ways I can explain it, but I have been told I'm very bad at explaining analytics. Anyways, this is a good list to be on. We'll say that.
So basically, Thomas Greiss is better than Vasilevsky. Got it.
Yes. That is what you can pull from this list. He is number 2. Mike, number 6 on this list is Jonathan Bernier.
So Jonathan Bernier better than Tuukka Rask. Got it.
Yes, that is also on there.
And Carey Price. Got it.
and Mackenzie Blackwood, for anybody keeping track of.
Are we emailing this graph to Bernier for his contract negotiations?
God, I hope so. He better keep track of this. No, and this is something too where we've made the argument before. Can you just look at a save percentage? Because you could just be facing more shots, but they're all garbage. So this takes that idea and says, how many goals should they be letting in? And right on the top of the list, Thomas Greiss and Jonathan Bernier. So again, when everybody was joking at the start of the season, what do we have to do to be successful?
Yeah. I'll say that this is a way to quantify the eyeball test, where it looked like Greiss and Bernier were 100% getting peppered with the most terrifying scoring chances you've ever seen in your life. And I think a few of those opportunities, definitely in game 1, I could have easily justified. I would expect to see 8 goals in, because that's how awful we looked in that game 1. And somehow Greiss was able to stand tall. And I think 2 goals was a success.
Oh,
that was a success.
Far beyond. I mean, this was. I mean, this is it right here, right? Like this is that represent. Like you said, this is how you can take a look at the eyeball test.
Yeah, you quantify the eyeball test.
I do have to throw out there chart by Sean Tierney at Charting Hockey, and data by at moneypuck.com. So that's spelled out for the Twitter there. Just want to make sure everybody knows I didn't make this. Follow Sean Tierney. It's at Charting Hockey. The guy is a genius, and of course he's more of a genius. Why? Because he's letting us know why the Red Wings are so darn good. All right, so wrap up the conversation. I think we all could see like the goaltending was a major difference in this, but that's how you can kind of figure out like what is the difference here between any other goaltender that has a high save percentage. It's again going back to those heat maps. We looked at the heat maps for the first game, and Greiss, bless his heart, played his nuts off. Like that heat map was disgusting from the Hurricanes. Just this big old blob right in the middle of the ice, as hard as it could be for a goalie. And then, of course, our side was lacking a little bit. Got a little bit better in game 2, and of course, what happens? We come out with the win. So, Mike, we're at 33 minutes. Let's start to wrap up here. We talked about adjustments from game to game. I think an easy adjustment we could highlight was taking Franz Nielsen out and putting Bobby Ryan in. That's an easy one. But I do also want to give props to Fabry, who after going 2 for 14 in game 1 in the faceoff circle went 4 of 10. And I tweeted out, I want this to mean to everybody how important faceoffs are. But also, if Fabry continues to struggle where he's still in that 30%, like sub 30% right now, that's got to end. Like we saw Nemistikov playing pretty well when he's just making plays and in the right spot, giving himself breakaways. Like he knows what's up. So I also know he's fine in the faceoff dot. So again, we could applaud Fabry for kind of stepping it up in game 1 or game 2, but he also was 100% faceoff percentage through 2 periods and then farted out the 3rd period. So it did kind of fall back. So all that mixed together, good on Fabry to kind of get it together, but I want it also to everybody to see like, wow, faceoffs do matter. Let's end this experiment sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And then, Mike, I don't know if you want to touch on anything else, because I know we've gone pretty heavy into like what.
I think we touched all the points, and I just wouldn't be surprised to see as more of these series go along that there might be splits, because I think we've come to the conclusion Blashill is a good coach, and basically I hope we don't have a single injury from the top two lines, and God forbid Hronek goes down, because like I said, he's already one of the top Minutemen in the league.
So let's just quickly take a look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. We do want you guys to check out bodpodcast.com/Red Wings Rant, where you can see we're going to be doing so-and-so for dummies is the series. So we did the Carolina Hurricanes, getting you set up for them, and everything kind of fell in line. So I'm pretty proud of what we came up with in that regard. And it is Jesse who's throwing all those letters together for us. But we will have a Columbus Blue Jackets one going up soon. But Columbus is 0-2 with a -5 goal differential so far, Mike. 3-1 loss to Nashville and a 5-2 loss last night, both to Nashville. They're picked to go somewhere between 3rd and 6th place in this division, only because once you get down to the 3rd spot, it's pretty tough to figure out who's going to go where. And just to take a look at last season, we did go 0-3. We lost 5-4, 5-3, and 2-0. And in all of those games, Mike, we were sub 40% in regards to possession. So again, 50% means we're even. 40% means we are getting outshot 60-40, and we were sub 40 in all of those games. So Columbus really dominated from a possession standpoint. Oh, the burps. Oh my God, too much coffee. So if anything, we want to see improvement, just like we saw we were dominated last year by Carolina, and we come out with a 1-1 series after their first weekend. So Columbus not looking too hot after their first series. So, hey, maybe the Bobby Ryan difference will continue. I don't know. I'm feeling good. I'm going to say, since I said we were going to split with Carolina, I don't think it hurts to say we're probably going to steal one here from Columbus as well. I'm thinking we're going to be riding that last night's victory, and we're going to take Monday. We're going to take that noon game.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mike, do you have who's that Pokemon?
I do not have one right now. There isn't really. I didn't have any sizzle reels for us. It was a lot of humdrum after game one, and I think Blashill just saying, "Yeah, we competed real hard in game one. We didn't. There wasn't a good contender. No,
that's fine. Let's wrap it up. Everybody find us at bodpodcast.com/Red Wings Rant. You can get all the stylings there. We are getting post game from Jesse as well on Red Wings Rant, so check that out if you don't want to miss a thing. And we are at BOD Hockey on Twitter. Oh, and I'm doing Wet the Beak for the Streak. So basically, I want some local breweries to get involved here. If the Red Wings win, every night I'm picking a new drink. If we lose,
all right.
If we win, I'm going to keep drinking that same thing. So guess what I drank last night was Howell Main Street Winery's Rosé. So Mike, I'm going to be drinking wine.
Ooh.
Monday afternoon, watching that Columbus game.
Crack it open.
Oh man. Well, we know what's up with drinking those beers Sunday morning. So, everybody, if you want to join in, it's hashtag Wet the Beak for the Streak. You can follow us on Instagram, where I've been updating everybody on that. It's at brothers_of_discussion, and I also do some fleets on Twitter as well, and that's at BOD Hockey, like I mentioned. So follow along right there, and let me know what you guys are wetting the beak for the streak for. And let's wrap it up. Mike, enjoy your Sunday.
I will. You enjoy your Sunday.
Huzzah! Huzzah!